kind of our story about how we got to this point. It was very messy. Very messy. A lot of trial and error.
Yes.
A lot of experimentation, right, with foods and a lot of learning that happened.
Yep.
So we're trying to boil this down as best we can. It's difficult. We're trying to boil it down to what are some simple things you can start doing now to start on that path in a healthy way.
And
to ultimately
SOS-free, and it's a hospital-free, basically, sickness-free, hospital-free,
and drug-free.
lifestyle. Exactly.
Right. Because the goal should be getting off of any medications, and healing your body.
Mama Africa, your children are home.
Hello, beautiful people of the world. Welcome back to Familia PablAnu. I am the one and only Anu.
Y yo soy Pablo, solo Pablo.
And first of all, let me say a big thank you to all our subscribers who have been subscribing, liking and sharing. We thank you, we really appreciate you. And if you're new to our channel, welcome to Familia PablAnu.
Bienvenidos.
Yes, and don't forget, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to press the subscribe button as well as the bell button so you get notifications when we post new videos. And thank you so much. Don't skip ads, we appreciate it. So for you, our viewers that have been asking us, how do we even start? How do you start a
like plant-based lifestyle? You know, how do you get there? What are the first steps?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and how do you get to SOS-free, right? Sugar, oil, and salt-free.
Yep. So we have 5 easy steps for you to follow along, and that's actually what we did, and it helped us. And so we're gonna share that with you. 5 easy steps towards SOS-free, vegan, plant-based food lifestyle.
Which will help you out, because if you see our video about kind of our story about how we got to this point, it was very messy. Very messy. A lot of trial and error.
Yes.
A lot of experimentation, right, with foods and a lot of learning that happened.
Yep.
So we're trying to boil this down as best we can. It's difficult. We're trying to boil it down to what are some simple things you can start doing now to start on that path in a healthy way.
And
to ultimately
SOS-free, and it's a hospital-free, basically, sickness-free, hospital-free,
and drug-free.
lifestyle. Exactly.
Right. Because the goal should be getting off of any medications, and healing your body.
So, number 1. So, if you don't have it in the house, you won't eat it technique.
And you won't be tempted.
Exactly. So, maybe it's sugar, junk food,
you know what those are.
Oil, salt, table salt, any type of salt and all that. If you don't have it in the house, you won't eat it. Even for me, we already, SOS-free, plant-based food. The thing is, I'm a mother of 5, I'm nursing and all of that, breastfeeding. If I see donuts in the house, now I know better. But when we were first transitioning, when I see donut or something like that, even if I see fruits in there, I will go for the donut because I want something fast to get that sugar rush or whatever, to fill my stomach fast.
No, you're gonna crave it. If you see it, you're gonna eat it.
And I'll eat it all. That's the problem with me, actually. And you're like,
that was a problem.
Yeah, like you eat just a little bit. I will eat it all because I'm so hungry.
Really, the point on this is it can't be in the house, which means the whole household has to be together on this, which is important, because if you've seen our video about high blood pressure, hypertension, and stuff like that, you'll see and know that this affects health issues. We think of it, it's older people, they need to watch what they eat.
Everybody.
From newborns,
children.
even within the womb and onward, it's important, because otherwise you're going to be damaging kidneys, you're going to be damaging other organs that are very important for their future. So you want to set everyone up. So it's got to be a household thing.
Exactly. So if it's not in the house, you don't eat it.
And the easiest thing with that is if you have bags of sugar, if you have containers of salt, those are the easiest first to go, and it will force you to find alternatives, healthier alternatives.
Exactly. Yeah,
and then of course the junk food that you mentioned.
And the oil too. If you have it there, throw it out.
Right. Big old containers of oil like we used to do. Imagine that whole thing going in your body.
Eventually going in there.
Yeah.
It'll stay in there. So number 2. So about those cravings.
How do you curb those?
Yeah.
How do you deal with them? Because they're gonna come. They're gonna come. So
we have this technique. It's eat a fruit technique. Increase up your amount of fruits and vegetables intake. If you're hungry, eat an apple. If you're craving something like donut, eat an apple. Eat a banana. If the craving is still there, eat another variety of fruit. Eat and some vegetables. Maybe eat carrots and celery. Eat those. And you still really want that donut or want that junk food. Eat another fruit. By the time you're fruit in, that craving is gonna be gone.
It's gonna be gone.
It worked. So that's a technique that we use. And if you have varieties of fresh fruits and vegetables in the house, without the junk food is not there, that is what you're going to eat.
Right.
So if you have the apples, banana, oranges, watermelon there, pineapples, mangoes, think of all those varieties of fresh fruits and vegetables. You're going to eat those if that's all you have. I mean, if you're hungry and that's all you got there, you eat that, right?
Exactly. And if you want to feel full, then having sort of tubers, you know, in our case we eat a lot of cassava, things like that, which isn't so accessible in places like the United States. So any kind of, what would you say, starchy things like
boiled potatoes, boiled sweet potatoes, roasted,
or whatever
roasted
kind of
soya beans as well, like just roasted without any salt, roasted nuts, just roasted without any salt or anything.
Things like that. I know they're a bit difficult to find raw, but if you can find raw peanuts, you know, if you have a way to do that, order them, whatever. There's so many things you can. There's so many things you can order online nowadays. That you can't find in stores. So look into those things, see what you can get that is salt-free or is even raw, so that you can actually roast it yourself.
Yeah, it's sweeter that way. It's more delicious, more flavorful.
And then some of our day-to-day stuff, we show how we roast peanuts, you know, G-nuts and soya beans. It's very simple. You just have a frying pan, basically.
So, number 3. So, whoa, looks like it might rain.
Yeah, there's a bit of a storm coming.
Oh gosh, okay, let's hurry and finish this.
So number 3.
Limit how many times you cook outside the house and
Eat.
How many times you eat outside the house and start cooking inside the house, in your house.
Doing meal preps before going out, packing your lunches, things like that. Finding simple things that you can bring with you.
Right, and learn to use condiments from nature, from Mother Nature, to cook your meals in place of all of those salt, oil, sugar, and all of those poison, basically. So you learn to use the onion, the ginger, the garlic, the mushroom, tomatoes, all of those to put flavor in your food. And we're gonna have to show you guys another video because we've had people asking us, how do you even use that? How do you not use bouillon and salt and all this? We're gonna show another video.
And experimentation. It's like, oh, this needs a little sourness. Let's add this. Oh, this needs some sweetness. We add this. So you use all of your senses, all of your flavors, everything. It's beautiful.
Oh, I need to add one more tip. When I said limit how many times you go out to eat, even us, we've been plant-based. We did plant-based for about 3 years now. If we go out to eat, we know for certain they have oil and they have salt and all of this processed substances, and it set us back, even us, that we know how to cook this food. Whenever we go back home, our normal food that tastes so good to us, all of a sudden, it doesn't even have salt, doesn't have anything.
Because
it takes another day or two before our taste come back.
It numbs it.
Oh yeah.
It numbs it. So if you actually use added salt, added sugars, things like that, it numbs your tongue.
Right.
You can't actually taste things. So if you're not using those, then suddenly you can taste flavor in everything. When I say suddenly, it takes some time. It takes a few days,
and then you
maybe
taste
a week,
again. Yeah.
Right, until you can taste these flavors again. You're like, oh my gosh, just eating organic garbanzo by itself is like, oh, so many flavors, you know, that you couldn't taste before because you were numb.
Exactly. So it makes sense to limit, if possible, stop it altogether. Because if you're new at this, you're trying to go on this non-SOS free plant-based foods, you go to restaurant, add the salt and all that.
You go to family events, things
and
like that.
And they have meats and all of this stuff.
For those, we still bring our own food.
Yeah, we do, even in the holidays when they have Christmas.
Before going into a restaurant, things like that, because we don't know what's there. A lot of times we will eat, you know, some tubers, some things like that before going in, just to make sure we're not like, I'm just hungry, just give
grab
me, you know,
fries,
and I eat it, and then we regret.
Right.
Like,
and also when you get there, you might want to, maybe if you know where you're going, ask in advance for them to give you boiled potatoes, or just tell them how to cook your food. Like fry it without any, they'll be challenged, but they'll do it.
Yeah.
So
they'll be shocked at first. Sometimes they're like, that's impossible.
Yeah.
How can I fry without oil? And you're like, no.
Just
let me explain.
Put
the onion in, fry that a bit till it gets translucent. Then you add the garlic for a minute. Do that, you know, like you can kind of tell them how to do it.
You tell the head chef and they bring it out.
Yeah, they'll do it.
Most of the time they get it right. And you're like, it's okay, give me lemon juice and the flavor comes together.
Now, if it's fast food, you might as well not go there at all.
Exactly.
You might as well eat right in the car, right before you go in, meet whoever you're meeting, say, hey, I'll have some water.
Yeah.
And voila, you know. maybe even bring your own food in there if they allow it. You know, just have a snack, have some nuts in there, eat some. So one easy thing to do, and the reason why plant-based eating it can actually be simpler, but yet with so much more variety, is that you can cook for the week or for a few days. You can cook some staples and just keep cooking another staple maybe every day or two. If you have a small crock pot, Instapot, things like that, you can do you know, some brown rice. You can do some different, you know, lentils or beans, you know, different things like that. You can do different grains. If you have sorghum, if you have things like that, you know, you can do those. Potatoes, carrots, things. You can roast all these things or steam all these things and have them in your fridge.
Yeah.
And if you're like, you know what, let me add another thing to this, you can add it in the fridge, and you just be taking from those, and you can make these lovely bowls, right? Like if you go to these restaurants, they do these, make your own mixed bowl thing at these vegan restaurants and stuff, and you know, have some quinoa, have some, you know, rice, have some this, you know, put all these things together, with your beans, different kinds of vegetables and stuff. So really, if you have these staples of like grains and tubers or starches,
and then you had some, I think if you've seen my other video, it'll tell you for a balanced diet, how many percentage, 55% of the grain and tubers, 15% of the fresh fruits, 15% of the fresh vegetables,
complex carbs and proteins, like lentils,
about 10%, and nuts about 5%. So if you mix and match all of those, you have a balanced meal right there. So the meal, the idea is to, you know, put those things in the fridge, and when the time comes, put them together in a bowl, and you have a mix.
So then the only thing you really have to do for prep, and you can even be slicing up like fresh vegetables. Like if you have some cabbage, you slice that up. Have some carrots, you know, slices up fine, and you can even keep those in the fridge. And then basically daily, the only thing you would need to prepare is just eating fruits, or maybe cooking some extra vegetables, you know, to put on top, some fresh vegetables. That's basically the only prep you would have to do, if that. You know, so it's just mix and match, heat stuff up, and voila, you've got it. So it ends up being very simple, and it can keep well. So if you put it in a bowl, mix and match, say, I want this today, I'll add these things in, put it in a bowl, bring it with you to work.
Number 4 is slowly replacing dairy and egg. Those two come together basically. Replacing them with plant-based alternatives. For us, that was the first to go. I threw it out the window when I found out what they do and how awful it is for the body. That was the first. I just grabbed the gallon and threw it out. And
for me, I had to go slow. I was like, I still have cheese. I have to use this up. Eggs, because we had chickens. Again, you could sell your chickens, sell your ducks, sell all those animals for money, and then you can use those to get plant-based alternatives and plant-based. I wouldn't say, again, if you're going slowly, I suppose plant-based to get at the store first, and then you will slowly learn how to make it in your house without all of the additives, because even the plant-based alternative, there's plant-based eggs, plant-based dairy, or milk, they have additives in them, preservatives, and things that there's salt in them and sugar in them that are not good for your health. I want to say the reason why those plant-based alternatives exist, like like alternative meats and alternative this, and you look into it and it's like it's got a bunch of junk in it, it's not that great. Even though it says organic, it's got these other things in it, preservatives, things like that. So the reason why those exist is because of people like yourselves who are just starting, and us the same thing, who are just starting, and you're like, oh, this is a quick replacement, right? And it's vegan.
And we tried it.
Be careful, there's so much salt in those things, oils, things like that. It's very not actually good for you. Yeah, and so what I would suggest is stay away from those. I know it's tempting to see like, ooh, vegan bacon, you know what I mean? Stay away from it.
We tried it. It's like they replace any kind of meat with salt. It's like
it's
you're eating
as heck
salt
too. It's expensive as heck. So you might try it once, but you can try it. If you have money for it, try it. But I would say don't just know that that's like a crutch to get over your cravings for that. Find things that are sustainable alternatives, right? Because those things are not sustainable. So keep that in mind.
Even things like tofu in the place that we live, where if you don't make it every day, the temperature you can't put in the fridge, it might go bad.
I mean, I like sour tofu, but you don't, so
no, it goes bad so fast. So
one day I will make some. One day when I have time. But yeah, things like that, you get over it, you know, because we use tofu all the time in the States, you know. Yeah, it's just experimenting, trying things, but trying to find alternatives that are sustainable and that sustain your body, right? That's the main idea.
I mean, and then you'll realize that there's so many varieties out there that we didn't even think of. Our brain wasn't allowed to think that way.
I mean, we made milk out of black beans once.
We tried
and
everything.
garbanzo
beans.
I mean, it's doable, right? It's doable. You try it out, you see it. If you like it or not, and then you move on, you know, if you
Yeah.
don't like it. But yeah, you try different things. People do oat milk. You can make oat milk like that, you know, for yourself very easily if that's
Yeah.
something that you like. If
So-
you have whatever is sustainable, whatever's readily available, cheap and healthy, and not like with oats. Make sure they're organic, for
Oh,
example,
right,
because they have
because
very
oats.
high levels of pesticides, herbicides, things like that.
Yeah.
So be very careful with those.
Alright, so just do your research, read those labels, and you know, and see what is a good alternative for you.
Right. And I mean, milk is a difficult one, but because of cereal. But if you get
Right.
the cereal out in the first step, because it's junk food.
We were able to throw out the cereal with the milk and the dairy. Baking, when we were baking stuff, we slowly
Right.
reduce how many times we bake in the first place, and we replace it with plant-based alternative.
Right.
And even with oil, we replaced the oil with just mashing avocado, and anyway, we found ways.
Yeah, like for example, butter. Right. We're talking about slowly getting rid of dairy.
Dairy,
So for butter, yeah, you mash or blend an avocate, and spread it on your toast.
Yeah.
You know, put it wherever. In that way.
And that brings us to the number 5. And this is one of the things that people would say, oh, I can never do without. There's no way. So it is slowly replacing meats. You can slowly do it. Replace it with plant-based alternative. And that is legumes, and as tofu, lentils, pulses, you know, all
Things
those.
that will make you feel full, things that are good for you, and that have a ton of protein. I mean, you've probably heard of like jackfruit, for example, that we eat a lot here. But even just, what is it, a cup of jackfruit, I think, is more than has more protein that you can absorb than even a steak, I think a
Imagine.
beef steak. Yeah,
And,
I mean,
and
so
things
it's-
like mushrooms, just and you add these onions to it, it gives it so much flavor. We're
So
growing
many
our
good
own
flavors.
mushrooms now, and
Yeah.
I just eat it when I roast it. Just put it on the frying pan and let it cook, and that's it. I was eating it as if it's so delicious, and then I found an alternative to Nigerian suya. Maybe another video we'll talk about that. Suya is like,
But yeah, I mean, for us, I mean, the cravings that we had, in me in particular, when it came to like oils, fats, especially animal fats, things like that, you know, to be able to get through that, you need alternative oils that are healthy for you, right?
yeah.
Monosaturated oils, things like that. And I'm not talking about monosaturated oils that are squeezed out and compressed and olive
and the
oil.
fiber's
no.
gone from it. no.
Exactly, that stuff's going to stick on you no matter what.
Yeah.
So no, what we're talking about are healthy plant-based oils. For example, a handful of nuts or peanuts, a little bit of peanut butter, maybe,
Yeah.
like in your porridge, in your you know, breakfast porridge, things like that.
Because we found out that it sticks on you
Yes,
too
that
because
will
it's been
stick on you. You have
processed.
to be very careful with that as well. Peanut butter, because that will fatten you up.
Yeah.
But maybe a little bit just to give that kind of flavor that you're looking for. And then also eating an avocado.
Yes.
You know,
That's
eating
the
an
best,
avocado.
yeah.
Or turning it into guacamole, you know, you just put a little bit of lime juice, lemon juice, maybe some red pepper or something like that, some garlic, crush a piece of garlic, throw it in there, you know, blend it up, and voila, you know, you've got it. And if you're able to like eat like half an avocado or a whole avocado in one sitting when you're really craving oils and stuff, that will cut it. That really will
Yep.
cut it, especially Hass avocados because they have a very high oil content.
You don't need much.
Yeah, but the nice part is if you don't use it, like if your
Comes
body
out.
needs it, it uses it. If it doesn't need it, it will just go out.
Yeah.
It won't stick on your body.
There's that fiber still in there.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
2 bonus tips. One is snacks.
Oh, now have you guys seen my video about 7 healthy snacks? It's not just for pregnant women; it's for everybody. So go watch it. We'll add it to this description. So you will be eating a whole lot of food.
Especially at the beginning, we ate
Yeah.
a lot.
We were
just to
scared
feel
about the
that.
amount.
I don't know.
But the fun part is, if you don't use it, it comes right out, and it's amount
I
that
don't know
comes
if
out
it's
too.
fun about it coming out so often, but anyways.
That's one bonus too. You get to go regularly, and it's amazing. We used to have
You'll
constipation.
be tired of going to the bathroom. And
Hey, no, and you were done in like 5 seconds. That's it.
that's true, yeah.
You're good to go.
That's true.
You don't have
It
to
is
sit
very
there
easy.
and stare.
I s-
Anyways,
in the
so-
US, I would see all these ads popping up. Can't poop? Have this. Can't poop. Fixing constipation.
Fill
I'm
your
like,
bowel or empty your bowel. with
right.
this
I'm like, empty your bowels with this one trick, right? And I'm like, is there a serious problem in the US
It
right
is,
now?
it
Like,
is, it
can
is.
people not go to the bathroom?
No. Anyway, so you're gonna be eating a whole lot, and that's okay at first.
Right.
And snacks between meals.
Right. Don't think of like, oh, I do my 1 meal or 2 meals or 3 meals a day type
we're
deal.
Supposed to be eating every 3 to 4 hours anyways. Yeah. So you have to be eating snacks in between meals. And what are your snacks? Your healthy fruits and vegetables and nuts and some healthy nuts. Some a little bit. But fruits and vegetables a lot.
Right.
Like just have the varieties of those fruits.
And just so you know, the reason why this goes through you so fast and you get hungry sometimes quickly, it's because your body's actually absorbing it very fast.
You're
because your body's exactly. Versus if you eat like a hamburger or something, so much of that your body can't even digest it easily. So it's just sitting in your stomach, and you're like, oh, I feel full for the rest of the day. Yeah, but that's not healthy.
And that thing is rotting inside of you.
Yeah, right. It's rotting inside of you.
Rotten,
Right. It's rotting inside of you while at the same time your body is not getting the nutrients it needs. So your body is actually being tricked into believing that it is full, which is making exactly. Your body is malnourished. It's getting malnourished. It's starving while your stomach feels full, right? So this is the opposite of that. Yeah. So a lot of times you can be like, oh my gosh, I'm really hungry. Always have snacks with you, right? Cut up some fresh vegetables, bring some fruits with you, some nuts, especially at the beginning. You're going to need to be replacing those oils because your body's so used to oil. So we were just recording some, and here's some of our snacks. So mushrooms that were all fried up and lovely.
Without any oil, by the way.
No oil, just mushrooms. And cassava, cocoyam, which is like, I always forget the name.
Cocoyam?
Not taro root, but
like taro root.
Related, yeah. Carrots, of course, mangoes, fresh mangoes, avocado, big old sucker. It's like twice as big as a mango. And what do we have underneath here? Oh, lots of jackfruit chopped up. Lots of jackfruit. So this actually sustains us for quite a while. If you're asking where the protein is, it's in the jackfruit. But
every plant-based food has protein.
Yeah, I mean it all has protein, but different amounts.
Just different amounts, yeah.
And oils, and yeah, it's good stuff.
The amazing part of this is that even though you'll be hungry every 4 hours or so, you don't feel the jittery effect of having those processed foods with the sugar and all that. That one will give you the shakes. You have to have food right then, or you feel like you might collapse and die. But with this, even if you're hungry, I should eat something, you still have some energy. You still have energy to go grab the next snack, and you still feel good. You're not so disoriented like that. Yeah. Exactly,
because if you're eating these complex carbs that we've been mentioning this whole time, those things will they slowly break down as they go through your body.
Yeah.
And so they could be at the end of your long intestine, and you're still absorbing food from it. You're still absorbing energy from it. Versus
the sugar stable.
Versus like if you eat a chocolate bar, it goes into your body and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Like by the time whatever's left is down here, there's nothing left to it. Things like that. So that's why the sugars, added sugars, things like that aren't going to help.
Right.
And the second bonus tip is do this gradually, right? Gradually. Some things might be easy to take out. Like I said, if you've got a bag of sugar or a bag of salt,
or just regular flour,
right? Or even just white flour, you can donate it. You can throw it away. Whatever. Those ones are pretty easy.
Canned stuff,
right?
Too.
Canned things, you can start doing away with that. Things like that. But when it comes to what you actually put in your body, gradual, right?
Yeah.
Gradual. Think about, okay, let me try, replacing this. Let me try using less of this, and then replacing with something else. If you have a quick replacement, do it, right? Do it. But just keep in mind, your body itself is used to these things. So go, bit by bit.
Right. Yeah. I mean, for us, it wasn't overnight. We switched the meat. We stopped the meat overnight, and then we replaced it with beans. We're eating garbanzo every meal and I realized that
roasting them to make them crunchy, stuff like that.
The constipation was a lot. No, not constipation. Sorry.
The gas and everything was a lot because you have new bacteria that's growing, right? Very, very new bacteria. So you need to. Left and right. Yes. So with beans, for example, we switched to using so many beans. And but it takes a few weeks until your body gets used to it, and then the flatulence, the gas,
goes away. Yeah.
Diminishes and goes away. Yeah. But just keep in mind, if you do major shifts like that, be ready for some major changes in your intestines.
Yeah.
So yeah, going bit by bit, you know, adding a bit here, adding more there, maybe doing like, for example, meat, you know, twice a week and then once a week.
Yeah.
And then cutting down some, and then once a month, yeah, and then cutting out
totally.
completely. Sometimes it feels like you can't live in this world, but you can. You can make it happen. You just have to make your health a priority and understand that this is not a diet. This is a lifestyle,
Exactly.
right? This is about your life for the rest of your life. This is about lasting and healing. You know.
Yeah, I want my eyes to be there for the rest of my life, and my teeth and my health, all my organs. I want them in good shape.
It's even more serious if you get injured or if you have, you know, something going on that you're trying to heal. Even more, it's in your mind. If I take even a little bit of salt, even a little bit of sugar, even a little bit of this or that oil, this is going to swell up, and I may even get like something dangerous might come out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even like a small cut or something, you're like, crap. My body needs to protect itself.
Yeah.
I can't compromise. I can't compromise my body. You know, I'm starting to get a cold or the flu. I can't compromise my body. Not even a little bit of salt. Not even a little bit of that. You know.
All right, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click the bell button so you get notification when we post new videos. And we'll catch you in our next video. Find our day-to-day posts on Facebook, TikTok, as well as Instagram, Familia PablAnu. But until next time, from the Pearl of Africa, say Odabo,
Ciao.
Adios, Odabo, bye.